All right. Theoretically, we are back from our technical issues because, it's us. So why wouldn't we have technical issues? Um, and I was going to say, other way, my there you go.
I'm working on it.
Anyways, my name is Brian Donahue. I am the one-legged GM. And tonight we are doing our normal discoveries, our Hidden Worlds discoveries. Talking with me, I have my full dev team here, my full online dev team. Um, uh, Danielle, Jesse, Michael, of course, and then myself as well. I hate it when we get started late, but well, we're theoretically working.
Oh no, I heard us. I
Everything's
heard me.
theoretical.
Good, good. Uh, all right. So tonight we were going to talk. We've been trying to figure out what we're going to talk about, frankly, because Florida person was a. We got to title it that now. Florida person. Um, since we do have
Florida people.
Florida people.
There was a whole community.
That's
There
true.
was a whole community.
There's several communities actually, but yeah, we'll figure out the nomenclature. All that being said, we were trying to figure out what the heck we were going to do for this month.
We really need to make our wheel of decision.
We really do.
We do.
So, as you can see, as I'm typing here, we are working on what we're calling Team Frozen North, which means we're building actually a multi-country, multi-jurisdictional team, co-op team. Because where we're building the team, frankly, there's not enough people to make it just two teams. Uh, of course, we're talking about Alaska and northwestern Canada. They're not
The Yukon.
the Yukon. Those areas are not densely populated by any stretch of the imagination. Um, and so between some treaties, both public and well classified, I would think that there would be probably some joint, like, all right, well, we can throw three people at him, we can throw three people at him, and now you've got a team, right? So that's kind of how I'm envisioning things. As always, for those of you who are joining us, feel free to jump in on the chat. We love your ideas. We love twisting those ideas. Because frankly, some of our best ideas have come from, well, you folks, frankly. Thank you.
To all of our people that putting in. I don't remember names.
Yeah, but I was just thinking about Daphne and Mystery, whatever the hell we called it.
Mystery Machinations.
Mysterious Machinations Agency Incorporated, set in Victorian New Orleans. Because, thank you, Jason.
I just realized that's mixed martial arts, MMA.
I mean, that's even funnier.
MMA.
Mixed.
Well, the international isn't always usually used in the.
It was the incorporated.
Incorporated.
Yeah.
It's still not always in the. That's not always used in the
MMA
summaries.
Inc. Oof.
MMA.
Oops. You can't trademark the letters. Come on.
Hey.
No.
It's from the Victorian era.
Right. We're
first.
Yeah.
And none of it involves an octagon. Well,
there was that one
trap, but anyway.
Yeah, there was that one trap, and of course there was the ritual.
That was a pentagon.
Oh, that's right. It's not an octagon. 8 is an octagon. That's right. It's 5, 6.
It's a really complicated spell. Required an octagon.
Yeah.
Required 8 points instead of 5. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that would actually hit all the cardinals plus all the
The earth, wind, whatever they call.
I mean, you'd hit.
I like
yeah.
how we went right back to there, even though we had a different subject to go on.
We're
Hi,
off.
welcome to our dev sessions. This is how it goes.
Oh, very much so. Very much so.
All right.
Yeah.
By the way, this is what I've been holding on to for like the last, at this point, about a half hour.
Go for it.
When you said Team Frozen North and you said it was a combined team between Canada and the United States, specifically based in Alaska, the first member I thought of was a translator.
Okay.
Not because it's an international team, so a very important member would be a translator.
Yeah.
You
I mean,
can't
you got the guy from Quebec.
yeah. So, but here's the thing: they don't just this person doesn't just translate like maybe English and French, because we also know that there are Yeti and Sasquatch populations in that area, so they also have to be fluent in Yeti and Sasquatch.
Depending on where you are
Yeah,
latitudinally.
the Sasquatch are more in Vancouver. The Sasquatch are more in Vancouver. Yeti are further north.
Well,
Yep.
you still need the translator in case they get pulled in. They would be a really close one to assist.
Yep, we definitely need that. And I'm sorry, we cannot make a team that's in the north with we've talked about it before. We need a moose throat. We have to
That's
have a
a
moose.
terrifying person, by
It's-
the way.
Very
It's gotta be
scary.
some really small dude though.
It's far more terrifying than a werewolf, frankly.
No, we got to lean into the skid on that one. We
Yeah.
can't make them small.
No,
it's just this
not the
mountain
moose.
of a person.
Okay, fine.
6'4", you know.
It's
The
it's
guy who walks-
gotta be
They're megafauna.
The guy
Yeah.
who walks out of the woods and you're like, the Yeti's coming. That's not a Yeti.
that's Bob. That's Bob. So
That's Pierre.
big
Huge.
guy.
Beard down to here.
Mhm.
So we have the translator, the moose throat.
Yep.
Yeah. The genus for moose is the Alces. So how do you pronounce it? ALCES.
Moose throat works just fine.
Why does it have to be
Um,
Bob? Why does it have to be Bob? Why do they have to be like having English?
I was gonna say Pierre
I like Pierre.
or Jack.
Because I was
Jacques.
all right.
Jacques.
So I'm thinking about like. Well, I mean, we could do.
We need something different though. Not those are all classic two normal
That
names.
depends on how you spell Jacques. Jack.
Well, I was gonna say if we go with a Jacques, he could colloquially be kind of answer to Jack as well. Just kind of whichever.
I mean, there's
Person
also
is-
option two.
So
'cause
he's going to be the ultimate Canadian cliche because he's also the lumberjack.
I was going to say, why does it
I
have to
was
be a
gonna
guy?
go gold miner, but I'm okay with lumberjack. I mean,
I was going to argue, why does that have to be a guy? Why can't it be just like this massive mountain of a female, of a lady?
if we're
Very possible.
leaning into
I see a lot more
Stereotypes.
female lumberjacks on female or lady lumberjacks on TikTok is all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, Lumberjanes is a very popular comic.
Yeah.
True.
And now you have this like 7
all
foot
right.
tall,
So if we're
dark-haired,
gonna break stereotype,
maple syrup swigging.
I'm sorry, I just had the maple syrup instead of spinach for like Popeye. Anyways, this is absolutely our dev team.
Well, if we're going to do the maple syrup instead of spinach, then we need another that's a chemical.
Yeah.
I could do this. Oh my god. Oh.
All right. All right. Hold that thought because I love the idea of a maple syrup chemical. Oh, whew.
Oh no.
My brain's already hurting. All right. So the moose throat. If we're gonna break stereotype and have a woman do it, which I'm okay with, giant like what you would term an Amazonian woman, right? Let's go.
Our
They're fairly,
chat
okay. These are not a long-lived, because they're a thrope, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Ice road trucker.
Yeah.
I'm down for that. Ice road trucker.
They
Our
just
chat
were-
has wanted to share that French for moose is elan.
I was
Oh,
gonna
Could
make
work
an
as a
Elon joke,
name.
but
oh no. We can make it better. Her name's Ellen.
I was
Or
just
Elaine.
typing that. I was just
Ellen.
typing that. Yep. Oh my
Like
gosh.
she had to swerve to avoid hitting a moose at one point, and then that's when she
It was actually a moose
got
throat.
bit or whatever.
It's
Yeah.
just a, yep.
A moose is the only thing.
Or she
will
actually
stop a
accidentally
semi.
hit a moose, and in the wreck, she it was a complete accident because it's a megafauna. It rolled up, smashed in her window. She got cut. The moose got cut. Mixing of bloods, very
I
much
like
think
that
I like
story. I like that story.
think more accident than go more with what we did for Gruff, where Gruff was
Yeah.
just accidental sharing of skin
Mhm.
because he's a mountain
Accidentally
climber.
Affected by.
Because I could see that happening all the time.
But we do actually have to have some just humans on this group. We've been
Oh, yeah,
using
absolutely.
The
others.
translator's a human.
Well, yeah, but I think we should actually do a few extra humans, just
Yeah.
quirky humans, because we've done the others to death.
To be fair,
Oh,
they're
of
going to be
course.
quirky humans because they live in Alaska and the
Mhm.
Yukon. So yes.
And as we've kind of established with the agency, is most of the others that are part of it are reluctantly part of it.
Yeah.
True.
Let's see here.
Because the others tend to make their own groups.
Book club. I mean, what?
Well, we were thinking more mystery mechanisms. Agency Inc.
All right. So translator, human
Yes. What? How quirky are
speaks
they? Far too many languages.
French, English,
Yeti, Sasquatch.
Yeah. Yep.
What other?
and those would absolutely be two different languages, by the way.
Oh yeah,
Oh, of course.
Yeah. Yeah.
Same root language, but different. The dialects have split off too much.
Like
Mhm.
Spanish and French. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same Latin root, but yeah, absolutely.
Northern Fae, Northern Druidic Fae.
So you're thinking more of like ones that are like shape changers or something
I
like
was
that?
thinking more there's lots of trees in that area because of the giant forests.
Mhm.
Uh,
But it's a northern dialect. So if you take them to Florida and they try to teach the Fae there, they're like, I don't know.
It doesn't quite make sense.
Mm.
also, what is the
They probably also speak Russian.
is it
Oh yeah.
Oh, easily they speak Russian.
Yep.
what is the is Eskimo? Is that Inuit?
Inuit.
Inuit.
Spell that.
One sec.
INUIT.
Honestly, I think it would be cool if this person was Inuit, but that is a choice I don't know if we can make.
I think
Uh.
I'm comfortable with that as long as
We don't do
lean
any cliches.
No
We're
cliches,
not going to
it's
lean
just
into
a
any
human-
cliches, but it's much more. So they have Inuit in the background in their family, maybe, but they are fairly. They lived in like Juneau or Anchorage and kind of did not, so they have that background, but aren't the cliche Inuit.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah,
don't have to.
I didn't
we're
think
not
they would be
leaning into
yeah.
that.
No,
Yeah.
I didn't think that'd be cliche. I just think that would be a cool
Right.
background for them to have.
Yeah.
They don't live in the ice from one of the more isolated tribes. They're
Nope.
still. Mm.
Wait, should they speak Kremlin too? Remember our Russian gremlins?
Why not?
That's terrible. I love that.
I mean, they could probably pick it up pretty easily because once, as you learn languages, it's
Yeah.
easier to pick up more languages.
yeah.
Which is why I'm saying like up there because they would probably already have spoken French, English, and Inuit.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, Moose Thrope Ellen, Canadian or U.S.? Canadian or American?
U.S.
Move north, but
They're from the United States.
oh god, they've got to be from some just to make the things. They've got to be somewhere where there's like they just love the cold, but they like grew up in like Iowa or something.
Honestly, they were probably from Washington, the state of Washington, and they were up there on a contract.
Washington or Minnesota, North Dakota, somewhere where they're used to driving in, well, crap weather.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then probably
So-
went
Jan
up
has
there on a
suggested North
contract to
Dakota.
make money because you can make
There's
serious
good money in that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you, and it's only like because it's only it's like
Like
I think
6
the links to
months?
those, not even. I think those are contracts are actually in weeks because
Yeah.
because the area is only open for weeks to
Right.
be able.
It's
'Cause it
been
has
a
to be-
quite. It's been
'cause
quite a
it-
few years since I last watched Ice Road's
Yeah.
Trucker, so
It's
I
I
don't
only
wanna
as
say, like-
long as literally the lakes are frozen enough to support a semi.
know.
But also not so frozen that, or it's not, and the weather isn't so terrible that they can't make it up there.
Right.
Mhm.
Like which is it's such a small window.
So speaking, though, just as I did, just speaking of somebody who's contracted from Washington or Oregon, we got a fisherman.
Oh yes, yes, Alaskan fishermen.
Mhm.
And yes, David, absolutely North Dakota or Montana. Yeah, I'm kind of thinking I like North Dakota just because it's big and empty, and there'd be a reason to leave it. Nothing
Yeah.
wrong with North Dakota, but especially if you like working oil fields, or work for the Air Force. That's about
So our last maybe American is a fisherman because a boat operator would actually be a good thing to have.
Yeah.
In the north, yeah, but as many lakes as there are up that way.
one of these days I can type.
And you're an author.
I know, right? That's why I have editors. I'm just saying. That's why I have editors. Let's see here. What about? All right, so I mean, if we're gonna pull from very obvious, why don't we do like crab fishermen or something like that?
Yeah, Alaskan
That is
crab.
what they would do. Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually had a coworker who did that would leave for 4 months, make a good amount of money, and then come home.
Yeah, there's a bunch of people who do that.
Yeah, and then would just work a part-time job the rest of the year.
Yeah, because you can make if you get on a good ship that's making money, make a lot of money.
Oh yeah, you'll clean up.
All right. Crab fisherman. Human.
Human.
I think we're just going to do the chemical and then like leave the rest pretty much human.
Yeah,
I think
I
at
agree.
this point.
I agree. How did this person become part of an actual government team?
Okay, what's a supernatural creature they would see at sea?
Leviathan.
Huh.
Whoa.
They're the only survivor of a Leviathan attack.
Woof. I was gonna go so much more like mermaid or Selkie, but
I was
you went
I
right
was
down to
kind of
Leviathan.
thinking I was thinking mermaid or stuff, but I was like, no, mermaid's too normal.
The
Um,
Selkie I could see, but yeah.
We're in the wrong hemisphere for
Yeah, I was kind of thinking that. I don't know that
Steels
we
can
have.
be in the but steels can definitely be up to the
I
cold.
was gonna say the Selkies could certainly do it.
What if
It's
he's
the
married
peop-
to a Selkie? He or she, well, I guess he or she, or they,
Who is? Oh,
the fisher person.
Oh, I
that
kind of
that
like that.
but it's a
That would
willing. It's not a
Yeah, yeah,
it's
they're
not
not
a
no, it's not.
awful.
It's not a. It's not the. Um.
Stereotypical awful.
narwhal.
narwhal. I love the narwhal. Why am I
Narwhal.
loving the narwhal this much? But that would make the narwhal like an extra creature.
Mhm.
That would truly make it a sea unicorn.
Married to a narwhal throat.
Okay.
No,
I like the Selkie.
I do kind of like Selkie though.
Selkie would be good.
Yeah,
That's.
I you know what, I do kind of like the Selkie.
But I have a question. Why is someone of Irish descent in Alaska?
Got lost from their pod.
That's a really long lost.
They
Who says Selkies are only in that are only in the Irish area? Traditionally,
Because
yes.
there's literally a small area in
Right.
Ireland because it's the people who naturally have brown hair and brown eyes in Ireland that are referred to as Selkies.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
at least that's where the legends started.
yeah, that's where
Right,
the
that would
legends
be
came
that's a
from.
legend, but that's maybe a
Okay.
legend. What if that's a legend put forth by Selkies to protect others as they spread?
I just
They as their
Googled
families.
and it says it's a Celtic and Norse origin.
Oh, okay.
That doesn't help.
Yes, it does. It means they would be out of the cold area.
Well, yes,
Yeah.
cold area, but we're
They
still in
they
the
could have
wrong
been
part
in
of the.
They could have been in Iceland at one point, or just
Could've
because
just
we're
immigrated
talking about
over
the
too.
Pacific coast doesn't mean they didn't travel.
Right.
I mean, there's a whole lot of bays up in there.
And they could have, I mean, either direction over top of Russia or over top of,
Mhm.
North America.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think I'm okay with Selkies because it's easy to imagine a pod that moves away from the area to avoid more detection, you know?
Mhm. As it gets harder and harder to be undetected.
Yeah, absolutely. Because
And
you certainly wouldn't expect to run into a Selkie in Alaska, per se.
and also just, following the fish. Because they're seals first.
Mhm.
Yes, that's true. That's true. And let's face it, North Pacific would be great hunting for them. So, okay.
Mhm.
That's a scary. Um, oops.
So are
I forgot.
Selkie, are they cryptids or are they
They're
Fae.
fey.
Fae,
fae? Okay,
They're
They're
definitely
fey.
fey.
which would give them shape changing abilities.
it's true.
I mean, we can easily, whether they
They're-
traditionally have that or not. I haven't looked at Selkies in a long time.
They traditionally have it. It's they're not considered like one of the what would be considered a great fae. They're would be considered almost a minor fae because their main trick is basically that they can remove their skin and appear human. Their
Mhm.
seal skin, but if you find their seal skin, they cannot return to being seals.
Mhm.
Yeah. If
Hence all the awful marriage things.
Since all the awful marriage stuff.
but there's also the willingness of like some of the legends is somebody who's willing to give them back their skin after having it
Mhm.
makes them a worthy spouse.
That's true.
That one's kind of evolved from the I'm hiding your skin and stealing it.
And that could be how they became. I mean, he could have, he or she, probably leaning towards he because the vast majority of crab fishermen are male. Just
We don't have to go
physically.
against every norm.
No. So it could very well be that the Selkie had shed her skin at some point to be human and lost it due to whatever, and the crab fisherman found it. However, that story worked out, they got together, and that alone, even if we dump the Leviathan side of things, that alone would make them interesting to the OTA.
Mhm.
And a great contact. And what we're talking about here with this group, as I'm seeing it already, these aren't like, this is not a team that's full time on alert all the time running after events. It's a, okay, you're all nominally hired. Here's your badge. Show up when we call, type thing.
Here's your training.
Yep.
So
Here's
we
your
don't, we
training,
don't
here's
have a
your
lot of
badge.
issues. Yeah, we don't have a lot of issues up that way, but
Mhm.
sometimes we need somebody who knows the lay of the land.
Right.
Here's some
We-
regular income just to keep you tied to us a little bit, and
Yep. Here's your badge. Here's your training, especially in the laws and the treaties. And here's your SSP phone that we can contact you on. Don't lose it or don't press the funky icons.
yeah.
they're on call,
Yes.
but kind of like, but they like, so it's like most of the time it's, if it's a 6-person team, they just rotate who has that 2 days at the office every, because that way the phones are always manned.
It's almost like almost a volunteer firefighter style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Once in a
Or-
while, once in a blue moon, they might all be called in, but most of
Or-
the time,
National Guard. It's like, all right, you work 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks a year, you're fine. Type thing.
Yeah.
I like that.
They're very active in the group chat. They just don't see each other very often.
Yep, I see that. All right. So we have our American team.
American part of the team.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Who's our first
you
Canadian?
want to do it.
That's easy. Codename
Okay.
Maple.
Yeah.
They are a chemical.
Sugar overload.
I was gonna go with
They can put-
they were created in a their accident happened when they were trying to extract the like doing one of those things where they're like working in a lab to extract the essence of maple syrup. Something bad happened, and so they were infused with the essence of maple syrup.
And the lab was absolutely some. Oh. The lab is absolutely some food company
Yeah.
that they're
Oh, yeah.
trying to get this extract down so that they can make a new combination cheaper and so that they can make more money off the, and all of a
Yeah.
sudden, boom.
Or just,
Unsafe,
or just-
unstudied food additives.
or just the essence of the scent so they can add it to other strange products.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. So
Just the-
what's
just the
their
right conditions that it's synthesized or whatever.
Obviously,
they're
they're a
scientists.
scientist.
Hmm.
Yep.
This is our
Again, cannot
brains.
Spell.
Other than the translator.
Yeah, we have 2 pretty solid brains.
Yeah.
Total different areas, which is good.
Mhm.
Yep. What's their one trick that they gained? So like, with the chemicals, they have to have a.
My brain's
Uh,
just looking at some sort of sugar rush situation.
I was
Right, that they
honestly
don't need
thinking
to
the
sleep
same
or
thing.
something, or
So almost the
Putting pixies to shame.
putting almost the meth style equivalent of sugar of a sugar rush, like just the super powered, overpowered, hyper alert, hyperactive. But then the downside is after that, hard crash.
Total
Hard
crash.
crash.
I mean, that's pretty much how the main ability works.
They're basically a berserker.
Yes.
Yeah.
Syrup tapped from a dried maple tree.
Oh, that could be what
That's
set
why
it
it's
off.
different.
It
Yeah.
was cursed. It was a cursed maple tree.
Oh, this changes
Sample.
everything.
Cursed
They were
maple
trying
sample.
to. They weren't trying to gather the like food add like the food additive. They were actually trying to draw out the fame magic in it.
Dangerous step right there.
Very dangerous.
Oh, dryads are going to be after them.
Oh, they've got a mortal enemy.
Unless the food company hired the dryads to produce it.
I just don't see them letting them messing with their trees. I mean, it might like not their personal trees.
Right. Again, not the personal trees, but if they have,
Okay.
if you've got 3 or 4 dryads dealing with a stand or a copse of maple trees, helping promote it.
Mhm.
What if the reason they work for the agency is because this is the only way they promise not to kill the dude?
Could be.
Keep him on a leash.
Yeah. It's basically it was you're gonna have to do something about them or
Ooh, there is a favor
Right, yeah.
owed. If this individual, if Maple still has access to this these trees, there is a huge favor owed.
Maple has to have access because
Yeah, they have
he
to.
has to have they have to have the Fey infused maple syrup. Because that's what that's what the food company was trying to do. The food company was trying to basically make a Fey addictive additive.
Cannot type it all today.
Doesn't help we just keep throwing things out too.
I know,
Magically
right?
delicious.
Terrible. I love it.
That's the secret code to activate.
I think that yeah, the sugar rush is their definitely push beyond.
Yeah.
But I think their standard thing.
Sticky?
I was actually going to say because they're infused with Fey magic, they can activate it and actually see through Fey glamour.
That'd be interesting. I was kind of thinking glamour in some way as well.
Break
what's that one called for the? I know
it's their
the push beyond is sugar rush.
It's like the chemical talent, such as like being able to like put on a cream and turn invisible, or drink a potion and become Mr. Hyde.
Right. But what's the? I know the push beyond is the sugar rush. What did you? I forget the term for. I've slept since then. I forget the term for the.
Oh, it's it was like it was just a trick.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't remember. I think it was just the standard trick. Oh, look, thank you. Hey, I'm moving. That's my excuse for not having the book readily available.
This is not a criticism. I'm advertising. Look at this lovely book featuring the Restore Corps saving the world. Anyway.
Trying to save the world. Let's face it.
And not die in the process, you know.
We did that time. Kind of dumb luck, but it worked.
So much
dumb luck and the
Pure
right
chaos.
person helping you. Yes. Person? B?
Fellow agent.
Fellow agent. There you go.
Individual.
Sorry, spoilers.
So of course,
to see the full thing, you'll have to go to the YouTube channel and watch, the entire series. But anyways.
So I would say that the Major Lab obviously probably got attacked by the Dryads. You misspelled glamour. And in that attack, that's when the explosion happened that caused this person to be fused with to become fused with the magical maple syrup, the Fey syrup, if you will.
sounds so wrong.
And
I
of course
kinda-
the OTA. Hold on,
kinda
the
like
OTA.
the idea.
The
I kind of
OTA
like the idea
responded.
of the food company having a treaty.
Oh, I was going to say with the OTA responded, the higher ups at the food company went, "Oh no, this person did it on their own. We weren't doing anything with that."
No,
Wink.
because there's no way they get away with it that long if they've got several dryads tending these maples. I see it more as someone was stupid enough to make a deal with the Fae in this food
Sure.
company.
They thought they could hold their own, and they just
The lawyers
Pride,
thought they
man.
were good. Well, to
Pride.
be fair, the lawyers are probably good for human-based law.
Hmm.
But these are Fae, so they made the deal
Mhm.
with the Fae.
And they didn't
Uh,
call in. They didn't call in the proper translators.
Yeah,
Correct.
they just didn't get a. They either didn't get a good Fey consult, or they didn't get any Fey consult. They didn't think
No
they
fake
needed it.
consult.
No fake
Yeah.
consult. No, the
Yeah.
lawyers were like, no, we got this. We got this. We can we do contracts for a living. You pay us
Yep.
lots of money. We do contracts for a living.
For
Anyways.
fools.
I can just imagine an imp walking up to that and going, "Did you even bother doing a subscript look?" And they're like, "What's a subscript look?" Oh, that's where you in like imp just walks over, passes passes a light over it, and you just see all of this like writing that you can't see in Fey over it, and they're just like,
Yeah.
Yep.
how much more was there in there?
You
Every
signed
page is
this,
like that.
guys. Yep.
What do you mean
Sapling
every page?
just like looks and sighs
Every
deeply and
page.
walks away.
Yep.
So yeah, you're on your own for this one. By the way, that one's coming with us.
Yep.
Actually, that it would be more. Again, we're talking about these are part-time on-call agents, so it'd be very much a. By the way, the accident was not his fault. You will
Mhm.
not claim it as his fault, and by the way, you will keep him hired or her hired, which you will keep them hired.
Yeah, you'll keep them hired.
Period.
Hold on. You'll continue to pay their salary, but they work. But they're on permanent they're on permanent assignment to us.
Mhm.
Let's do it right.
They can work for you when they're not working for us.
Yep.
So they're on call, but if they say they have to leave to work for us, you just keep signing their paycheck. And we won't talk about this with anybody. And let's face it,
This
the company
person
would
has
absolutely
not-
go, yup.
This person has not stepped foot inside that building for
Yep.
years.
Maple tells both bosses that they're just working from home for the other entity.
Oh no, I think Maple just volunteers to always be the person at the phone.
There you go.
Sure.
Because why not scoop up 2 paychecks?
I mean, that's absolutely fair.
Which
That's
means
absolutely fair.
their home base probably has like a bit of a lab like set up there.
Do they live in the bunker where the phones are?
Oh yeah.
Well,
Well, it's
they've
probably
also-
just an office.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just an office. And they've still got to go out to the site to get the Fey syrup
Mhm.
to feed their addiction's a polite word for it.
Mhm.
I mean, it is what it is. It's
Yeah,
literally
it is what it
what
is.
defines the chemicals' downsides.
Mhm.
So, all right. So Maple is covered.
So we need 2 more Canadians.
Hmm.
My brain just wants to go hockey player just because we're talking Canadians.
I would go Mountie.
I kind of was thinking Mountie at one point, so let's go Mountie.
But yeah, that was a given.
Nice.
And by
That's
the
such
way,
a stereotypical name keeps popping into my head. Jean Pierre.
call sign is Mountie. By the way, just
Yeah.
Oh no,
Yeah.
no. Call sign's Dudley.
nope. They retired Do Right.
Yeah.
The
Oh,
books, the original
Huh?
trilogy. They would retire.
They already
They
have
would not
Do-
use Dudley at all.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Mountie. Jean-Pierre. I'm going to screw up the spelling.
Uh,
I don't know if I
Actually,
spelled it right.
got
I
it
think
right.
that's- Wow, nice. Um,
We want anything about him except he's just devoted to his job.
I think that's plenty. That gives them some kind of military personnel.
Yeah. We just gotta
Military.
give him his moment of joy why he's in the agency instead of just a bounty.
because he speaks a little bit of Yeti language.
He's run into many of them over his time.
Well,
Sure.
that and he's a authority. Like he's the authority figure in.
Yeah.
Realize this guy carries 2 badges with him. He's like, all right, so does this badge work? No? How about this
No.
badge? Oh, I love it. All right. Yep. That gives you law enforcement background. That gives you someone who can actually
Mount-
fight.
Should give
Mountie,
him
friends of
animal
Yetis.
empathy too.
Yeah, they're interprovincial and international crime, border integrity. Yeah, they are literally perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a perfect.
They're basically
person.
the combination of FBI and Border Patrol for the U.S.
Yeah.
And they annoy everybody.
Yes, they
How
do.
perfect they are.
Yes, they do. All right. Who's our final Canadian?
Listen.
Is it bad? I want to say a survivalist.
So just your average,
Either survive.
like a homesteader who just, they live off the grid, they live out in the woods.
I'm thinking someone who more like almost professionally does it. Like you see, this is the people that would go off and not sponsored, not getting anything, but like they would enter like the alone competitions.
Hmm.
So they are
What if
still
they're-
your.
What if they're a guide? What if they're a field guide?
Actually, that would make sense.
Like a hunting guide?
Well,
Yeah.
in order to actually, is it bears? If you want to hunt bears, you actually have to go in specifically with a guide because they have to be sure that you only kill one.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
there are several laws like that when hunting, especially in Canada and Alaska, that you walk a really fine line, and most people just take a guide with them because,
They know the rules.
yeah.
Yeah.
So this guy is basically he's great at bows and he's great at long distance guns.
Yep.
Bows, guns, tracking.
And
Probably has some
really,
probably also has at least a little bit of experience with a giant revolver,
yeah.
Yeah.
And
like a,
yeah.
you know,
And
Giant.
just really handy with a hunting knife.
yes.
I
Yeah.
would love for this guy to have some good ranks and influence as well, though, because a while ago I was watching something on YouTube and it was a guy literally is like, we're going to try to make it through the night without a tent or anything. It's this many degrees. So maybe that's how he drums up business and
So he's
or does
got
that make him too visible?
so he's got a fairly high influence.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that. So he's personable. This isn't your grizzled guide that just grunts and goes out there. No, this is your actual, like, people hire him very specifically for the experience he gives them.
He's got a YouTube.
Mhm. Yeah,
Oh,
he's got his YouTube, he's
100%.
got his
He's
social
got-
media.
Yep.
But he's not, but so he's like a survival tuber as opposed to a.
Basically.
No, that's a thing. Like,
I know.
It is a thing.
It's yes, I know. It's just a funny, yes. Here's the
Finally getting our
bows,
influencer character.
rifles.
that would make sense.
That our first influencer is middle of nowhere Canadian.
Yes.
Yes.
Large rifle.
Gosh. Is snowshoes too long of a call sign though there, Dave? Or like bear's too obvious. I don't wanna call
Bear's
him
way
Bear.
too obvious.
Yeah.
We can do better.
Yeah, I
We can
agree.
do way better.
Hmm.
Mm.
Actually, another good one
It's
for the
close.
Mountie is would be red. Another good code name for the Mountie would be Red. Because he never wears that uniform unless it's a ceremony, but they freaking always razz him for it.
I can absolutely be.
It's not his
Um,
official code name, but it's what the
so
buddies call him.
that's what the Canadians call him. The only reason they picked Mountie was because the Americans just tease him and are like, go get Mountie. It's that offhanded, go get the cop. Go get Mountie.
Mhm.
You know. I absolutely
Mhm.
see that happening. Let's see here.
Uh,
Can't believe I just typed that. Uh,
you love it. Slash survival talk.
Mhm.
no, it's got to be something clever.
I know.
No. I was saying they're also on survival too. They're on survival tube and survival talk.
Yep.
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 What's his
So
chant?
apparently the term for this is an outfitter.
Okay.
Yeah, that's if they provide the equipment and stuff. Yes, which
Mhm.
in Canada they would almost have to have all the permits and stuff to do that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That works.
It's at least a 6 on the Bear Grylls skill.
Nice. Nice.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, I know. I got one for you.
Mm.
Codename Jack. Yukon.
Like Jack of all trades.
No,
I was gonna go
nope.
Yukon Jack.
Yep.
I'm not getting it.
Island of
No.
Misfit Toys.
No, that was Yukon Cornelius.
Yeah.
That was you. I
Oh, Cornelius is
Cornelius.
Oh,
so
Yeah.
good. Yes.
He was a nice lumberjack.
He was technically a prospector.
Oh, that's yeah.
Yeah, because he was looking for gold.
He
Yep.
just dressed like a lumberjack.
well, he was wearing blue and stuff, doesn't he?
Was he wearing red?
He was
Oh,
also
no,
one of the
no.
very few
He had a red hat.
ever claymation animations that had a pistol, revolver in this case, but yes.
I'm
His-
totally wrong. Yeah, blue or green coat.
His
He's in a blue coat.
channel and subsequently probably his call sign is frankly Yukon Cornelius.
Corny for short.
Much to his chagrin.
Hold on. So that we're not potentially caught in some kind of Rankin Bass copyright thing. Yukon Corny.
Yukon, I love that.
We're calling him Yukon.
He's influential. Yukon Corny.
Yep.
Because
Yukon
he's got a high influence, so he's always joking. He's that corny guy.
Yep.
Hmm.
CORNY or EY.
I kind of like the Y.
Either or, I'm good with.
Yukon Corny.
But obviously that can't say quick would be Yukon.
Yeah.
If you're saying quick.
All right. Actually, probably often referred to by the team as corny.
Mhm.
Hey, Corny, come on.
Master of jokes and puns.
Master.
Self-proclaimed
master.
Okay,
master of
so
jokes and puns.
That's better. He's the ultimate dad jokes.
Yep.
Probably is a dad.
Yeah,
I was
his
gonna
kids
say,
are his kids are
Age him
grown
up a little
up.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah, his kids are grown up. Had him young. He's in his 40s at least.
Yep.
Master
That's
of
true,
dad
Kidler.
jokes and puns.
Yes.
Isn't it the same thing?
No, no. Dad jokes are very different than other regular jokes, and very different than pastor's jokes. Very, very different. Similar vein. I've told enough of both. Similar vein, but not, you know.
All right, I need to look at a map now.
Trying to figure out where their home base is.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to pull it up here because I risk slowing the computer down.
No, I got it.
Do we want to put them on like the border or more?
That's what I was looking at. Was like seeing where.
It's got to be near the. It's got to be near the border. It's got to be.
I mean, Whitehorse would be the biggest city in Canada that's near Alaska.
Okay.
That would also make sense for
Juneau would actually work.
And that's why he's called Cordy instead of Yukon, is because they're in the Yukon.
That would make sense. Though Juneau is really close. Like
Yeah.
Juneau doesn't look like it's too far from the border.
Well, plus Juneau has other facilities and access points rather than Juneau is also.
There's a giant military bunker housing in Juneau.
Yeah, there's also access. Juneau's on the coast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that gives you access to ports. You've got access to the military base, which means you have access to runways. Juneau makes sense.
Plus, the Canadian government agreed to this because it meant that the United States would pick up most of the tab.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yep. That would be
That
why.
is it.
That would absolutely be true. Yep.
Hey, the Canadians had a Faye on their negotiating team too. It's fine.
And again, they didn't call in the expert.
Yep.
Imp's been doing a lot of consulting work since since the Restore Corps.
Yeah.
I dig it. All right, let me go down. So we need to do.
Remember, there was actually a really cool tunnel from, if I remember correctly, it's from Juneau to Anchorage. It's a one way. It was many miles long, and it's basically there's times on which way you can go.
That's cool.
Oh, Glacier Bay National Park is up there. That's awesome. But yeah, no, yeah.
All right, cool. So
Funny
team is
because I
based
can
in
hear the
Juneau.
tap, tap, tap of your keyboard and then the delay on the screen.
It's hilarious.
That's kind of funny.
I think they have their own
Do they have a supervisor?
I mean, there's probably a
No.
regional.
No, the OTA doesn't have the budget for that.
It's just
Oh.
Mountie.
I think that they actually I think
Again, Mountie is the team leader because he's the one who will fill out the paperwork.
Hold on,
man.
wait.
There's always one.
Give me a sec, give me a sec.
Champ.
I don't think Mountie gets pushed around as easily as Sapling. Though.
Because
Or
Mountie's
maybe
about
he's more
twice
good-natured
sapling
about it.
age.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
Sapling
And size.
Sapling did the paperwork because you felt that it had to get done. Somebody
Yep.
had to do it.
It was
If
her
no one else is going to
reputation.
do it, I'll do it. Mountie is. Where's
So-
the paperwork?
I
Yep.
would like to
He's
argue.
enthusiastic.
So I would like to say that they do, is that they actually have a building that is their building on the Coast Guard station in Juneau. And so it's less of a supervisor and more of a what's the appropriate term? Like there's basically someone in the Coast Guard that they less answer to, but like is there to answer the it like
Would it be like a liaison or like a site coordinator or something?
Be like a site coordinator.
Site coordinator. On the, you said Coast Guard based?
Coast Guard station. And it would make sense because
Yep.
if they needed their assistance with if they needed OT assistance with like a search and rescue, that kind of thing.
Well, not only that, they've also got, I mean, if you've got the crab fisherman out on a boat and he's needed for something, the Coast Guard can go get him with a Blackhawk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it makes perfect sense.
Oh, we're using logic.
What? Unheard of.
Occasionally.
Unacceptable.
Inconceivable.
I do not think that word means what you think that means. Oh yes, this is absolutely a dev team session.
We've been at it an hour. Just
Well, we've been on air for about
Almost an
50
hour.
minutes.
Yeah. But yeah, no, there are actually so there are military bases in there, but for Juneau in particular, it is considered they actually do not have a military base. They only have a Coast Guard station.
But it's a major Coast Guard station, so yeah, that works.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Absolutely works.
Resources there, etc., etc.
do they have any cool transportation equipment?
I mean,
They would have
They-
access to anything the Coast Guard uses, which is everything from Blackhawks to the French. Oh crap! The Dolphins, which is what they use for Airwolf.
And of course, the snowmobiles.
The Arctic Cats, but also they would have C-130s. They would have other. They have other transport that is sturdy enough to work in the sub-zero temperatures that is Alaska
mhm.
and the Yukon. So, I think this is a fantastic team to start.
This is actually a viable team.
Yeah,
It's
it
not-
is.
It's not a whole bunch of misfits.
No, this is
It
actually
is, but it isn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, we've
Team
managed to
building a-
finally do it.
Team building exercises.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Team building.
Important. Important.
I mean, I would have to agree with that. This is one of our more like thought out, surprisingly well
Yeah.
teams.
Yeah.
It's not just chaos,
Yeah.
not just who's randomly going to be in the scene. It's actually
So
Yeah.
the OTA actually sought out people.
Well, that's it's tough when you are drawing from the population who have had incursion events or who are impacted,
yeah.
by the unseen world. Like you do get a wide variety, and then you also get your recruiting from military and Secret Service and all that.
Yeah, I would honestly say probably I'm trying to think if anybody in there would potentially not have had a incursion event. But you're right, we have someone who's married to a Selkie, outfitter. I might
I'm sure
add,
he's run into something.
He's had
Corny.
something.
Are you friend? Corny probably like high fives Yetis.
I was gonna say he's got a deal with one of the Yetis when he brings a troop through, or a client through. They get to see one from far enough. He points them out, and the Yeti goes away. Later on, he gives them some cash or whatever for the
The next
it's a
romance
partnership
novel.
thing. Yep.
It's fluff.
It's the special it's the special extras that his tours do.
The fact that we've got Mountie and Corny both knowing Yetis, I feel like they hang out with the Yetis.
I think so.
Corny probably does.
I think
Mountie
so.
would be too stuffy to hang out with Yetis.
Actually, then we can remove
but the
Mountie
Yeti-
knowing any Yeti
That's
and
true.
just say Mountie has not technically had an incursion event.
Oh, he could just be like the
until he was
government.
until he was joined on the
recruited.
team. Yeah.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah.
I mean,
Right.
the thing is, we never really established in the end. The Sasquatch are hippies, but we've never
Yeah.
actually established the Yetis as that.
Other than
I know we talked about them, but
yeah, other
no,
than
we-
being
did we
extremely
establish anything
corny
official?
and lonely.
And they're
That's right.
they're
forgot.
they like
I forgot that they were horny.
they like their isolation.
Yes.
Well, that would explain why Cordy would be friends, because just one on he's pretty isolated himself most of the time.
Right.
The first
Mhm.
time, hold on, the first time that Corny met a Yeti is because the Yeti ruined the YouTube video. Just by literally walking through the
Wandered
end.
right into it. Yeah.
What happened?
And the
Knocked the
Yeti
camera over or something.
and the Yeti had to share that with WD-42
Oh yeah, no. Here's the thing.
later.
The Yeti did not knock over the thing. The Yeti just literally walked to the back of the shot, not realizing there was some idiot filming a survival YouTube video.
Right. And then and then Yukon or Corny would have absolutely not hunted down, but
Hmm.
searched for
Located.
that Yeti.
And
And-
found them
Eventually, a friendship was born.
after much yelling, much
After
some
hilarious
persistence.
yelling.
So we've got Cornies, we've got Mounties, as literally just hired because he's good at what he does, and then
he made
welcome
it
to the
good,
world.
and his mind was flexible enough to be open to the stuff he was going to do.
Yeah.
Our moose rope, obviously. Our chemical has the dryad,
Mhm.
and the crab is married to the Selkie.
Selkie.
Am I missing
Mhm.
anyone?
The translator, the Inuit.
We never talked about that.
Again,
Hmm.
he or she, they know both Yeti, Sasquatch, and Northern
Oh,
Dryad.
the languages, yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what was their first? What was
They
their first
probably did the classic spread of English. Well, they probably grew up knowing English and Inuit because of a grandparent, like grandparent or parent, like so they literally grew up being bilingual.
Picked up
French.
French.
I mean-
with
Picked up
Max.
French. Uh-huh.
They would have
They
had to
could've-
have had contact with probably Yeti to start, eventually Sasquatch and Northern
Maybe-
Dryad just to deal with stuff.
Maybe they just had a friend that was a half something,
Yeah.
and it just was the norm for them. Literally, their event is what
I grew up
everyone's
this way.
friends with the supernatural.
Well, what if they grew up with like a half dryad, and the half dryad when they were younger and before they really grasped like how serious it was to follow these rules, maybe they like relayed some of the culture and language to their
Sure.
friend.
It's the whole he's my best friend. Well, of course I'm
Yeah,
going to
this
talk to him, you know.
Mhm.
What do you mean? What do you mean we can't show humans? It's
But mommy,
Uh,
but mommy,
literally
it's just him.
this is why I should not have enrolled you in human school. Mistake.
literally
That
little
is
5-year-olds
exactly
on
the
the
conversation that happened. Yep.
Try to let you get both sides of your upbringing.
I love it.
So so the translator
Just switches the cultures, just switches the language like it's nothing,
Mhm.
because all their life they've done this.
Hmm.
David wouldn't be the Magnum mustaches. It's full beards for most of them.
yeah.
Yeah, it's cold
It's
up
the full
there.
bushy,
Yeah,
I would even
we're-
say
except
the
for
translator.
the Mountie, because Mounties are clean shaven.
Okay.
this is Duck Dynasty more than
Yeah, probably.
than
I don't believe the Inuit grow facial hair much or at all.
I think
Pretend
they
not
might
to.
have. I think it's a lot of it has to do with they have a lot of Asian
Right,
blood, and that tends not to have.
right. So that's a genetics background thing. That's not
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a biological thing.
yeah.
So that's but and
I would
probably
say
not Ellen.
I don't know.
Depends on how the players want to play, Ellen.
That's
It's
right.
fine.
Well, I just
Um, I think the
do a
translator
paper.
probably has at least a master's in linguistics.
Oh,
Yeah, their language skills have
if
to
not,
be.
if not an actual master's, the equivalent of a master's.
Yeah.
Mhm. They have all of the certifications.
Because it's really hard to take Yeti, Sasquatch, and Northern Dryad in school.
Yep.
No, but you can write papers on it and therefore get yourself published and get like.
They'll
Would
get
they
you
be allowed to
disappeared.
publish? That's the
Yeah.
whole thing. Is
Yeah.
because you have a 42
No.
and a spooky and a spooks on the computers, and that's
That's how they got
Yeah.
recruited.
Hold on. Hold on.
They wrote the paper and tried to publish it.
I love that.
Hold on. As their doctorate dissertation.
Oh,
The problem is you have to convince a professor to take you seriously about that subject. So,
I mean, when you all of a sudden start speaking Sasquatch to them.
but the thing is, people have made up gibberish languages
Sure.
through history. People have made their own languages. So,
but they could have. They
so
could
if
have
they presented
presented
it
as
if
a
they're not
we're
saying
making up a
Yeti.
language, right?
Yeah,
As a what if.
They
Kinda like
use that to
Tolkien.
get their degree. It's their
Yeah.
final project. Like, what
It's basically
complex language?
like Tolkien.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
they literally wrote a paper or wrote an entire dissertation on languages
the etymology of languages.
Mhm.
specifically in the northwestern North American continent.
That works.
Mhm.
But 42 found it and what? That's not made up. I like it.
Does this sound like a appropriately lofty a study of the entomology of cryptic language of crypt? No, it's cryptid. Spell check. Stop it.
Actually,
Cryptic
cryptic
languages.
works.
Cryptic.
I like cryptic because they can't say cryptid. or
Not
they won't
long
take it
enough.
seriously. Leave it
David said
cryptic.
not long enough.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, that's the first part of the title. He still needs the subtitle.
Yeah. Yep.
All right. A study of the entomology of cryptic languages in the northwestern North American continent.
Actually, no, that's the subtitle. So we need some.
Okay. Yep.
Gobbledygook
I get
title.
you.
That's
So
the
gobbledygook
gobbledygook
title.
because then it's colon a study of. Oh.
Hold on. Fantastic languages.
Nope.
No.
No, let's go with actually if it's a subtitle we can use cryptid.
Pretending they're making up the language.
Yep. So let's see here.
Dissertation titles are at least 40 words long.
They tend
You're
to
not
be, yeah.
wrong.
That's because they're trying to get that word count in there.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
Something like fictional languages or something.
Regional. This is
Well, okay, so they're usually called constructed languages.
okay.
Okay.
No way.
Regional language differences in constructed language.
Regional linguistic
differences in constructed languages. A study of the etymology.
We may put wait.
I know we've spent 10 minutes on this title.
Yeah.
We have a winner. Regional linguistic, if I can spell it correctly, thank you so much.
Just missed it.
Listen and
Linguistic
S.
differences and constructed languages, a study of the etymology of cryptid languages in the northwestern North American. That's such a dissertation title. Oh, that's terrible. I love it.
But it does tell you that they have a master's degree and they're still trying to get their doctorate.
Yep.
Yeah, and absolutely that flagged in the system very, very quickly.
hmm
Well, the word cryptid was red alert.
Yep. Especially
Hold
in
on,
a
hold on.
dissertation. Yes.
Here's the funny part. Someone had to read that entire dissertation to see
was
if
just
it was a
thinking that, yep.
joke.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why it would have been given to 42.
Punishment.
Absolutely
Actually,
punishment.
part of it's punishment, but part of it's also, all right, you're the only one who knows if this is real or not. You deal with it.
Hold on. It was either 42 or Imp, because Imp actually does enjoy reading.
That's
I
true.
have-
and
but-
and
but-
actually,
But this
Probably-
is Sasquatch and Yeti language, so it would
Probably
be
given to
42.
42.
Wow.
42 then
On.
probably handed it to Imp and said, tell me if this is real.
See, but 42, you call it a punishment. We just call it consequences.
Oh, this is the
Okay,
perfect spot to
basically-
end this session right here.
Hold on, by the way, this is how this interaction worked out. 42 handed the dissertation to Imp. Imp went, I'll read it. It seems interesting. I've read worse and longer. Look, I had a few centuries to kill in I'm joking.
Yeah.
In India one time. Oof. Gilgamesh, just saying.
Yep.
But I'm gonna need you to fix these, and just slides over like all the paperwork for the black card that needs to be filled out.
And then 42 gets to trade a favor with Sapling. It's just going to be this big train of favors.
I'm good, but I'm not good at hacking around.
Yeah.
Look,
At
just
some point in that, I'm sure Spooky got involved in the hacking
Yeah.
part of it, which means more
Nancy-
favors, which means more government work.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, this is
and
awesome.
in the end, Imp has read that entire dissertation, and unfortunately, it was like, this is really good work.
Yep.
This will
Did
get
you-
published in like 15 years when everybody's okay with this.
It's published eventually.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, guys, this has been amazing. I think next on our list is to do a one shot using this team in a couple
Indeed.
weeks. So, and we do expect eventually to do to go back to do the off weeks being an actual play, potentially bouncing back and forth between the 1980s and Victorian.
1880s.
Yeah,
The
the
1880s.
1880s, Victorian New Orleans specifically. In 1980s, think
18.
no, for the 1980s, think Charlie's Angels without
Knight
angels.
Rider. Basically, all of those wonderful 80s shows like the A-Team and Knight Rider,
but very
Charlie's
specifically
Angels.
more of the Charlie's Angels. I think is where we're building towards.
Mhm.
But it's still those type of adventures.
It's
Those
absolutely those types of
the
adventures.
episodic. We solve it. We figure it out.
Yep.
Everything's good. We all have a party, and then the next thing comes along.
Without the angels, with potentially a gerbil thrope. And other assorted individuals. It's gonna be fun. Can't wait for that.
We are still potentially looking for one more person.
Yes. These will be very, very fun. With that, I think we can call it an evening. Danielle, you got anything going on worth mentioning, especially
Nope.
online or anything? All right,
Not right now.
Jesse, you got anything? Members of the group or anything?
Nope, just pointing out that Sparkles the Unicorn is peeking through on the screen now. But no, nothing to promote at the moment.
That's because somebody used the in thing chat. I was going to say that after we got off here.
So
I just
please-
noticed it and it made me laugh.
If you haven't followed us here, please do. Please get your friends to follow. We're so close to hitting 50 followers. We just need 50.
Please. We're trying to get there.
And like the YouTube and everything.
Make a social influence role. Just kidding.
All right. And I also have currently nothing going on.
Wow.
So
Next time we will I will not be online on Sunday because I will be at a convention. Speaking of conventions, next one is this coming weekend in on the other side of the state, in Michigan, New Baltimore.
Baltimore? Is that one?
Yeah, New Baltimore anime and comic show where I'm a guest. Come see me, us, because I think David's going to be with me that weekend. After that, and since I'm at a con, I can't be talking about doing graphic design work. Next con after that is the 28th. That's Tulip City Comic Con in Holland. And after that, we get to some really fun ones. Not that the others aren't fun, but Cherry Capital Comic Con in Traverse City. That's always a fun one. We'll be in the game room, and theoretically, we may actually have some copies of the new card game to sell. If stuff goes on time. I literally just got the proof copies today for approval. We have not opened the boxes yet because David has not been here to open the box and shoot the video. We'll do an unboxing video for that, which we'll release probably on the YouTube channel, since I can't do non-live yet until we get 9 more followers, I think. So reach out to your friends and say, hey, follow these guys. With this close, legitimately. We're hitting all the other metrics at this point. It's just the follower count. So Cap City and Memorial Day weekend. Then in July, we've got Kogan Con and Cherry Capital Cherry Capital is in Memorial Day weekend. Capital City in Lansing is in July. Kogan's in Grand Rapids or Grand Haven. It's been a long day, folks.
For those
That's the end of a long day.
For those who aren't local to the group, that's all Michigan.
It's all Michigan. All Michigan all the time.
Michigan.
And depending on
throwing
how...
out city names.
Yeah, sorry. If you're looking at Michigan...
No. Hey. I love you all, but we're ending a YouTube. We're ending a stream. That means we can't do the big goodbye. No Midwestern goodbye on the stream.
Oh man. Anyways,
True.
thanks so much for joining us. As always, we'll see you in probably a week and a half, 2 weeks, at some point at least. But anyways, we'll see y'all later. Bye.